Hello, I'm Jerry Fort, the beer review guy. So I got a Bud Light. This is a limited edition can, I guess. Always brewed with 4 simple ingredients for a clean, crisp taste. So this is a suggestion for Javier Cardenas. Cardenas. Cardenas? If I pronounced that right. I think this is a couple months. I think I've had this for a couple months, the suggestion. So apologize, Javier. Hope you're still hanging out with me. So this is a chat session. That's what Javier wanted, is a chat session with the Bud Light. Bud Light is probably one of the most popular light beers there is, probably. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just popular. It's not one of my favorite light beers, but many people do enjoy it. I mean, it's a refreshing beer. I just don't find it having as much like flavor as so many other light beers, so it's not one that if I want a light beer, it's not one that I get. I take these off. These tabs, you know why I take them off? Because back in the late 80s, early 90s, I mean, I've had a mustache ever since I was 16 years old, but sometimes it would get a little long, a little bit more shaggier. Well, these things here, these are evil when you have a mustache, because when you're getting a drink, you know, Tom and Jerry cartoon. Jerry will take, he'll his Tom's whiskers, take it off, he pull it out of his face, and then when Jerry the mouse had his cousin over, he was a Appalachian hillbilly mouse. And he played the guitar or something, or the banjo or something, and he'd be playing that banjo, and he'd break a string, and he'd just find Tom and pull out one of his whiskers and re-string his guitar or banjo. Whew. Tastes good. Just not one of my favorites. It's a decent evening. It's like 80 something right now. It was 100 degrees yesterday. Crazy. Bud Light has a light straw color to it, light goldish. Light barley malts, really bready. Light carbonation, light body, light hop flavor. Clean, crisp taste. Yeah, I agree with that. These are 4.2% ABV. 1 pint can. Okay. How about a chat? You guys got your beers? Well, pause it. Go get you something to drink. Don't come back without something to drink. I'll wait right here. Let me know when you're ready. No. Take that soda pop back. I don't mean drink a soda pop. You gotta drink a beer. Come on. Okay, you can drink a soda pop if you don't like beer. That's fine. So, last weekend, excuse me again, last weekend, it was Saturday, excuse me again, it was Saturday. Alright, so, I think that might have been the day that the wife and me and Jeremy got Brahms Big Country breakfast that morning or something, and didn't do too well on my stomach. I mean, it has, you know, sausage biscuit and gravy, eggs. Is that it? Anyway, I think it was that, but it didn't go, it didn't go over too well with my stomach. So, no, it wasn't that. Because it was late in the evening that happened to me. It might have been something for dinner. I can't remember what we ate. But it jacked up my stomach, whatever it was. So, it got me up at, you know that feeling you get when you're dead asleep. And then you start getting that crampy feeling. Wakes you up like, uh-oh. You better get up. If you're me, you better get up and start heading that way, because you don't want to wait till the last minute. That's a no-no. See that first hint that something might be happening here in just a minute? You better head on down the hallway to the restroom, because it's either that or stumbling down the hallway and tripping over a cat and crapping yourself. You don't want to end up doing that, so you better give yourself some time. I've always had problems with my stomach problems. I think it happened, I think it evolved from when I was a baby, because when I was born, I had some like really bad diarrhea. I don't know why. I don't know what happened, but I didn't want no breast milk. I didn't want, well, my mom tried to give me regular milk, and that gave me diarrhea. And then bad, and I wouldn't stop. I was just, my mom was kind of scared that I had it so bad and stuff, so she took me to the doctor. The doctor put me on goat's milk. Put me on goat's milk, and that seemed to do good. So I've always had a sensitive stomach. Whoa. So anyway, so yeah, it had me up like 2 o'clock in the morning, and you know, when you get that stuff going on, you sit there for a while, you know, sit there till your butt goes numb, because you're just not sure if you're done yet. So I know this is not the conversation that you really wanted to hear, but so anyway, I finally got finished up, done my paperwork, and headed back to bed. And it got me up again. And when I came back to bed, it was like 3 o'clock. I get up at 4 o'clock to go to work. So I was so dadgum tired. And this is early Saturday morning, okay? I was so tired that I was like, I'm not going to work today. I can't. I haven't had hardly any sleep. So I wrote my wife a note, because we have a driveway that only we have a driveway that's for only one car at a time. So we got 3 cars, one behind the other. So I keep mine to the end of the driveway because I get up earlier than Jeremy does to go to work. So my truck's got to be down here. So if I decided not to go to work, then Jeremy's car is right behind mine. So if I'm sick and I can't get out of bed, somebody else has got to move my truck so he can get out. Are you following me? So I write my wife a note. I say, honey, could you move my truck for Jeremy to get out? Or I said, or get me up and I'll move it for him to get out. I can't go to work today. I've been up all night. I took my phone with me into the bedroom so that I can text my boss later on. You know, I don't want to text them at 4 o'clock in the morning. They're asleep, and if they get a text and it wakes them up, they'd be mad, you know. So I wrote that note and took my phone in there, put it beside my bedstand, you know. So I went. No, I didn't shut my alarm off. Turn it off so it didn't go off. Butterfly. So anyway, about 5 o'clock, my wife wakes me up. She goes, honey, yeah? She says, it's Sunday. It's not Monday. You don't have to go to work today anyway. I was like, oh man. She said, did you text your boss? I said no, because a lot of times I'll take my phone and text my boss and put it by my bed so that I'll hear confirmation that he's cool with me taking off, you know. And what can he say if I'm sick, you know? But I looked over to turn my alarm off or something, and I never even set my alarm. So if it was Monday, I would have been late anyway. I don't know. I got a built-in clock that a lot of times I'll wake up close to time to get up. Do you guys have that happen? Where, let's just say you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, you look over at your clock, just out of gaining consciousness, and it's like 3:55. It's like 5 minutes till your alarm goes off. That's so irritating, isn't it? So yeah. I was totally convinced that it was Monday when it was actually Sunday. What else? I know there was something else. Have you ever seen those, they're actually German cockroaches. And they're kind of a light brown, and they have these wings. They're about that big. They get pretty big, and they fly. They're kind of caramel colored, kind of a light brown. Long antenna. Excuse me. Well, a couple nights ago, Jeremy's sitting at his computer, and he's sitting there. You know, he's got his headphones on. Excuse me. You know, he's doing his game and stuff. And he felt something run up his leg, and he reached down there and he swept it away, but he didn't see what it was. Those things are fast. So as soon as he swept it away, it ran, you know. Well, my wife says, did you notice Jeremy took the trash out for you this morning? I was like, no. I was like, and probably the reason why I didn't notice it was because it wasn't full yet. So I wouldn't have thought anybody would take it out. I said, why? Was there something dead in there? And Jeremy says, no. There was something alive in there. I was like, what? He says, yeah, in my trash can in his room, he's throwing a Kleenex in there, and he sees something moving in there. And he like rustles the trash can around to see what it is, and sees that big cockroach in there. So he just bags up his garbage and takes it and puts it in the kitchen trash can, and then takes the whole bag out, to the dumpster. And he said there was a big roach in there. Well, the ones I was thinking of was those Madagascar hissing cockroaches. You know what I'm talking about? They're not those, but they're big like that. They're big and black. And you'll see them out in your yard or something. And that's what I thought he was talking about. But no, it was those German cockroaches. Yeah, I'm a bug guy. I hate seeing anything happen to bugs, you know. Roaches, because they carry germs and stuff. They're one of the bugs I don't really care much about. But the cicadas that are out, can you hear them? They're everywhere. I mean, they're flying everywhere. There's some, I saw a couple being born today. They come out of their shell. You know, they leave that creepy looking claw skeleton, their outer shell. They climb out of it. You know, they stay underground for 7 or 8 years. Slowly, I guess, creep toward the surface. It takes them that long. They're underneath the ground 7, 8 feet deep or deeper. When I see them in the walkway, I don't want them to get, you know, like at work, at the college, I don't want them to get stepped on. So I take my hands and I get them, and they're all bouncing around, fluttering with their wings, you know. They're scared. They don't know what's getting ready to eat them. I get a hold of him, and I throw him up in the air. Thing flies off toward Nebraska or something. He's gone. Then I see another one. I'm walking along. Oh, there's another one. And I take him, He just like comes back around and just head first right into the concrete steps. I was like, dude, I meant for you to fly away. Don't fly back and go head first into the concrete. Sometimes they don't have any, they don't have any sense. They don't. They're one of those dumb bugs, that it's pretty much the only use that they are is to feed other bugs, animals. There's a cicada killer. It's a wasp that stings the cicadas and can carry them toward a hole in the ground, and they drag them down alive, cicada, however you want to pronounce it, into their burrow, and they lay their eggs inside them. And then when the larvae are born inside the cicada body, the babies eat the insides of the cicada. It's pretty gruesome, but that's what they do. You heard of a tarantula hunter? That's another wasp. They hunt big spiders, like wolf spiders and tarantulas, and they sting them and do about the same thing. Only they have to drag them. They can't carry a big spider like that. But usually they're not too far from their burrow, their hole. Yeah, they sting them and they paralyze them and then just drag their bodies. Crazy. Bugs are interesting. I've been into insects since I was a real little kid. The one thing that I found so fascinating first was ants. How ants could, make holes and go down into the ground. And the workers, they'd come out with their mandibles full of dirt, and they'd put it out there and go back in. Excuse me. And then down deeper, they have their queens and they have their eggs down inside there. Yeah, one day I decided, this is when I lived in Loveland, Colorado. I wanted an ant farm. Someone mentioned an ant farm. Well, you see those ones that are like a plastic and they're thin, and you can see both sides. You can see them digging their holes, down inside there. I had one of those one time, but it just didn't last long, So my idea was this. I got a 5-gallon bucket. I saw the hole that the ants were coming out of. I think these were, in Colorado we have these ants that are red. Okay? Their heads are huge. They have big heads with big pinchers, and their abdomen and their rear end are small. But these ants you'd find by the railroad tracks. I don't know what it was. I think it was the rock or the gravel that was around the railroad tracks that they liked. But I found some of those in some areas that I could dig to put a shovel down into. So I stuck the shovel down in around where they were going in and out. And I just dug it up and took the whole thing and put it into, in the shovel load, I put it into a bucket. And in that shovel load, I got the queens and the eggs and everything. And I kind of had to be careful because they wanted to get me. They wanted to bite me for sure, because I disturbed them So I kind of patted out the dirt, and you know, they were making their way out. They were making their way out by themselves, and they immediately start working. When a disaster like that happens, they immediately start working, and they have to dig toward the queens and the eggs. The queens and the eggs is the most important thing. They got to protect them. So I couldn't bring it in the house. My mom and dad, I already tried that and got in trouble because they got out. But this bucket I left outside underneath the chair. And I saw them working. They were working, and I left them in there a couple days. I checked on them and stuff. Pretty soon, I found them moving out. They didn't like my bucket. They were going up the bucket and over the other side. They were carrying their eggs out. The queens were following them, and they just moved out of my bucket. They said, "No, we ain't living in this bucket. This isn't right." And now when I lived in South Carolina is the home of the fire ants. Yeah, I had a couple of bad experiences with those. If you've ever seen fire ants, or if you've ever experienced them, if you live in the South, they're not just in the South. They've made it this way now. Occasionally I see them in my own yard now, but they're wicked, man. In South Carolina, they make hills that are like 3 to 4 feet high, and you can't see like an entryway so much. But if you just barely touch it, man, they just spill out of there, just like something has interfered with their hill, and they're going out to kill it. No bugs can survive a swarm of these things. They're wicked. They take down cattle in the fields. My dog actually died. Had a little half Lhasa Apso, half poodle in South Carolina, and I think I was 14, 15 years old, and my mom and dad, I guess it killed my dog. But they got inside her mouth, and I don't know if it suffocated or what happened, but my mom and dad said that she got hit by a car. That was sad enough to hear that's what happened. But heard later that fire ants got inside her mouth or something. If you walk into their hills or in their path, they climb up you like quick. Now I was standing, and see, we lived in a trailer court when I was a young man in South Carolina, Lexington, South Carolina, and I was standing behind these trailers talking to my friend, and all of a sudden I start feeling stings and bites on my legs, and I look down. I just happened to be standing in a hill of them. They were going up my pant leg, and I had to pull my pants down right there and get them off my legs. I didn't care who was going to see me. Yeah, they were bad. But so yeah, they would get in people's houses too. They made their way in houses. But yeah, those I did the same thing. I shoveled them up, put them in a in a bucket, and watched them do their thing. But whew, when they get a hold of you, man, they get a hold of you. And they leave a little welt, like what a mosquito does, only it hurts a little bit more than what a mosquito bite does. Are you bored listening to the ant stories, the bug stories? South Carolina is really full of a lot of a lot of different... Would you get out of here? Leave me alone. Horseflies. It's full of a lot of bugs. They got praying mantises. They got different kinds of ants. They got the cow ant. Have you ever seen a cow ant before? It's got two names, either cow ant or a velvet ant. They're like orange. They're a beautiful orangish. Some are reddish colored. And they kind of look like a bee without their wings. Have you ever seen those before? Yeah, they'll lay a sting on you. They will sting you. But they're really cool and they're fast, and you can see them. You know, they're running around, kind of in the sand area and stuff. So they got those different sizes. Some are huge. I mean, they got like 2.5, 3 inches long. Big cow ants. Excuse me. They got lots of different kinds of wasps, dragonflies, "31 minutes. Well, Javier, I hope that you enjoyed this chat session. I guess it was a month ago that Javier put in his suggestion for this. And I went ahead and picked up a Bud Light. But other things happened where I couldn't get right to it, you know. It's drinkable. Is this what do you like this, Javier? Is that why you suggested this? You a Bud Light drinker? Somebody else just the other day. I wish I could remember who all requests things so I could remember to, when I'm talking about them, remember their names. Shoot. Suggested the Cayman Jack. You guys heard of that? Cayman Jack margaritas, and he said there's also a Cayman Jacked margarita. I think, and it's 10%, I think he said. Well, I picked up a couple of those. I think they're not 24 ounces. They're like maybe 16-ounce cans, maybe. I picked up the Cayman Jack margarita, and I picked up one was a Cayman Jacked margarita. They also had a strawberry there, but I just went with those two for right now. So there's a couple of reviews. I still got some other ones in there that are just the ones I got that were past date. Remember when I was telling you about that? I still got those. I still got those what are they called? Those juice box things and those little carton things. I reviewed about 10 of them already. Crap. Come on, brain. I know you're old, but... Oh, it almost came to me. You guys know what I'm talking about. There's a bunch of different flavors of it. I almost had it. Okay. Well, I know it wasn't much of a chat session, but I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. There'll be others. I got a water tonight. There's a chance of rain, but it's not gonna hit us. Spam risk. There's a phone call coming through. You know what the number is? 111-111-1111. Really? I'm gonna start writing down things for chat sessions, so I can remember, you know, what to bring up, what to talk to you guys about. Because I sit here and I'm like, what else can I talk about? I could go to sleep listening to the song of the cicadas. The cicada song. Okay, well, I'm going to end it here. I thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it. Javier Cardenas. Cardenas. So how would you pronounce that? Cardenas or Cardenas? Cardenas or Cardenas? Cardenas sounds like a flower, doesn't it? So probably Cardenas. Limited edition. It's probably just the stars going across the top edge, which makes it a limited edition, because it's folds of honor. Has something to do with that. Okay. All right. I'm going to end it here. I thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you to Javier for suggesting to do this chat. And I apologize it took me so long. I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you all on the next one. There will be a next one. I promise. Bye.